Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I am coming at you. This time not with the Unsung hero, no. This time I'm coming at you with Morgana Jungle. Now, you might think, oh, this is one of those games where you're kind of trolling. You're just jungling one of the off junglers or, something silly. And honestly, no. I was browsing around Reddit and I saw this post, why Morgana be the next big thing, and there was this whole thing done out of Morgana being a jungler. And at first I kind of was like laughing at it, but considering it made the front page of League of Legends on Reddit, I decided to read it. And in all due honesty, I was kind of glad that I did. Because the more I read it, the more it made sense. Now, Morgana has the longest base stun in the game and the longest stun overall in the game. Just like Fiddlestick's Fear is 3 seconds. Just like, let's see, what was it? Rammus's Taunt is 3 seconds. Is also, Morgana's stun tops out at 3 seconds. But to start, it has a 2-second duration. That's pretty long. Then recently, Morgana has fallen out of favor. Kind of not recent. It's been for a little while. People haven't chosen her. And the main reason for that is the game's gone aggressive. Morgana is a passive farmer. The game's gone really, really aggressive. Going for... going for objectives, turrets, dragon, pushing to win, a much more aggressive style, where Morgana was a sit back and farm kind. Although Morgana can push a tower, especially if she levels up her Tormented Soil. The reality is that even though she counters so many mids, she's fallen out of favor, and probably a little bit more is that she only counters AP mids, and there's been the favor of AD mids in the game. Like Zed, Kha'Zix, Jace, Lee Sin, and Morgana would probably have some issues against that. Plus, she doesn't have a ton of killing potential like other AP and AD mids. So she's really fallen out of favor, which is really bad because she brings a lot of utility and a lot of different potentials to the game. Now, let's talk about the benefits. Let's talk about the benefits of juggling Morgana right now. Morgana's passive really helps give her sustain. That she gets a bonus 10% Spell Vamp from her abilities. So you're automatically starting off with 10% Spell Vamp. And even though it's an aimed skill shot, her stun, like I said, is 2 seconds. If you land that in the gank, that's 2 seconds where the enemy will be standing still and able to get beat on. And then there's her ulti. And yes, our Shen will actually have trouble up at the top, but, well, you'll see. Plus her ulti, her ulti is still terrifying, especially in a team fight, that she can deal damage and lock down momentarily an entire enemy team. And you see me going here for my first gank. Into the lane, I just lead the target, and bam. And even though I'm silenced, just look at the damage. And she burned flat, even though Ignite was burned on her, she had to burn Flash and Barrier to get out. That's a huge, huge win in the lane. Now, it also doesn't help that Fiddlesticks isn't warding, so this is kind of an unfair video. But then again, Morgana, like a lot of regular junglers, can find ways around wards, different lane ganking avenues and whatnot. So there's that. But there's also a hidden benefit to Morgana. Again, her passive, 10% Spell Vamp. Smite does magic damage. So you actually get healed from smiting. And that's huge. That's major. Bam! You see right there, I hit smite on the Wraith, and I got a nice chunk of health back. Plus, her Tormented Soil can clear out camps really fast. You can easily take down small minions, and it's not that difficult to take down the big ones as well. So in effect, she's actually a really good jungler, especially with the setup that you have. So let me go over the setup real quick. Alright, first Masteries. Her Masteries are a little awkward in this, but they make sense if you think about it. Her Masteries are 2, 12, and 14, I believe. You take 2 points in Butcher in offense, and you take 1 point in Summoner Resolve, 4 points Durability, 2 points Tough Skin, 3 points Hardiness, 1 point Bladed Armor, and 1 point Veteran Scars in the defensive tree. Then in the utility tree, you take 1 point in Summoner's Insight, 3 points in Meditation, 1 point in Improved Resolve, improved Recall, 3 points in Mastermind, 1 point in Runic Affinity, 3 points in Vampirism, and 4 points in Awareness. The Awareness helps Morgana keep up and leveling quickly in the jungle, and the Vampirism, again, stacks with her passive. So I can't show it here because I've got the wrong things, but I actually start out with almost 20% Spell Vamp. Alright, also because of my runes and masteries. My runes are 9 reds, flat attack damage, flat armor seals, ability power per level blues, and Spell Vamp quints. Now, you can change around the quints if you want. Maybe you can go flat ability power. Maybe you can go flat ability power blues or magic resist blues. It's up to you. And you see me here. I'm coming in through the jungle. There's Trendemir going for the gank. He's going to run flat into my binding, which is going to counter gank. Granted, nothing will happen from it, but it stops anything from happening as well. So, a good counter gank on Morgana's side right there. You know, that's something else Morgana can be really good at. She's really good at stopping a gank, you know. She's really strong in that nature. I'm checking because I'm not sure where Trendemir went, and I'm hanging around because I want to try another gank here, even though my bot lane's a little low. I still have a very long bind, and here I come back into the lane. Fiddlesticks is caught completely unaware as I ignore Morgana. And I do get feared, but there's the ignite, and there we go. I believe that's first blood for us. Mid picked up a kill as well, and top, even though died and gave up a killing spree, actually got the shutdown. So that's actually pretty good for Shen. I will write all these runes and masteries down in the description area of the video as well. So, the more I think about it, the more, like, having Morgana in the jungle could be really terrifying. She is efficient at clearing. She is strong at ganking. As long as you can land that bind, excuse me, as long as you can land that bind, you know, you have a lot of potential to come up with a kill. And also, think about your team comp right now, alright? We didn't actually do this on purpose, but if you look at my team, we have Varus ulti, we have Sona ulti, we have TF gold card stun, we have Morgana's ulti, and we have Shen's taunt. We have a massive amount of CC potential on this team. It's just totally insane. Now, I'm going to bring you one other. I'm either going to do it, I'll probably do it tomorrow, most likely. I was thinking about maybe doing it tonight, but I don't think so. I'll probably do it tomorrow. In this video, I'm maxing out her bind first. I'm maxing her root first. What is it called? Dark binding. Okay. I'm maxing dark binding first. In all due honesty, I should be maxing tormented soil, probably. Or at least getting tormented soil to like level 3 or something like that. So, I kind of found that out. You know, I should be going tormented soil. You know, I'm going for the 3-second bind, but getting the faster jungle clear is really important, as well as a 2-second bind is still really, really freaking strong. So, yeah, Morgana has moved up in my list of junglers right now. As actually one of my favorite junglers. You know, probably my top junglers right now, at least the ones that I favor, Nautilus, Sejuani, Gnosis, and Morgana. You know, they're my top 4 right now. And the best thing about it is right now, it's not popular. It's not something people are going to do a lot. They're going to see Morgana, who you almost never see anymore. They're going to see her with jungle, and they're going to think, oh, right, she's trolling. And I want to go for the gank here, but oops, I walk into a trap. So, oh well. I don't know why I shielded there. Habit, I guess. But there's Fiddlesticks. And I wanted to get the assist, but I didn't happen there, which is fine. The Fiddlesticks not doing so great in the bot lane, but what can you do? But I'm letting this one play out so you can see her jungling. I'm still only doing this with a level 2 Tormented Soil. I only just leveled it up to level 2 right now. And the attack damage quints really help her when it comes to just targeting down the larger mobs, especially in the beginning. And you can see there, Shen starting to get on a roll on top. But you can really see the difference in what she's doing. And right now, you can see that I'm not taking a lot of damage. I do have health pot running, but I'm not taking a ton of damage from the camps anymore. Which is why I think leveling Tormented Soil over Dark Binding is actually better. This has actually inspired me to pick up some new Morgana skins to get her new Ghost Bride one and the Cook one and maybe even the Exiled. So Twisted Fate, as you see there's my friend Nolan goes after Tryndamere in his jungle and picks him off, and I see an opportunity. I see that blue may be up, so I go and check, and bam, yep, blue's up. So I want to steal this blue in a big way. So I'll ping for Twisted Fate to come over and get the blue here. It should show it. There we go. And there we go. Twisted Fate signals that he's on the way. I Dark Bind the Golem. And then I hang around just to make sure it doesn't reset. And there we go. Stolen blue. Morgana actually doesn't do too bad. I think she'd be a decent counter jungler as well. With a leveled Tormented Soil. So here we go. I'm heading bot again. They do have a ward in the river finally, as you can see. But I'm going to try and sneak into the bush. And zip. There we go. I don't know if anything comes of this. So, oh, I just forward walk, and there's Tryndamere. And I peg my ulti up. I'm getting hurt. I flash. And that's not going to kill me. But there's going to be the shutdown. Tryndamere's going to have to activate his rage. And if I had turned around sooner, I could have nailed that off. And there is Twisted Fate coming in. Unfortunately, he's going to have... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He did get it. And I'm just trying to stay back. Shen teleports down. Anivia goes into her egg. I thought this went bad, but no, it didn't. Actually, with the teleport down from TF and from Shen, we managed only to lose 1, and we ended up grabbing 3. So, not bad at all. I thought this went poorly. It must have been a different game where it had been a similar situation. But yes, I am against the jungle Tryndamere. And you may be saying to yourself, well, it's jungle Tryndamere, you know, how can you really be sure? Well, I was in a tough game, and it did ultimately end up a loss. And I was in a tough game with a new jungle, and I got counter-jungled really hard at the beginning. I lost my red buff, and he managed to steal other things, but I stayed active, I stayed ganking. My ganks were successful. I continued to farm. I went into his jungle. I stole his creeps, and it made a big difference. I was able to keep up with Nunu despite being counter-jungled. So she's really efficient in the jungle. Now, yes, taking Morgana will be much more beneficial if you can keep blue for yourself. You know, I have TF. TF has blue card. And I know the person playing TF, You know, I know Nolan. He's a friend of my nephew's, a friend of mine, and he can be very efficient with his mana in the lane. So I'm not worried about, you know, keeping the blue buff for myself. On the other hand, you can get away without having to keep the blue buff. You'll just have to build more mana efficient. You know, build more mana items that help you regen. I've already picked up the Spirit of the Elder Wraith. So I'm also getting Spell Vamp off of that. And, you know, with my quints and whatnot, I just have a ridiculous amount of Spell Vamp right now. As you can see, I am easily sustaining against the Elder Lizard here. Didn't hurt me all that much at all. Looking to bot lane again. Top lane's doing fine, mid's doing fine, so what I really want to do is I want to ride bot lane. You know, I just want to keep pushing in this lane, being a presence here. And there's Fiddlesticks, and he's going to get caught, and he's done. So Fiddlesticks getting caught out. They did place a ward here, but we just took Fiddlesticks. And Anivia's not around, Lee Sin's not around. Caitlyn and Tryndamere right now, the only two that can contest. But we're taking this dragon down pretty hard. So Tryndamere's not going to be able to contest us. And I quick smite it. And you see I took very little damage from that. And this is the thing about Morgana. You have so many different avenues that you can build on her. You can build a tanky AP. You can build a utility AP. You can build outright damage AP. In this one, I think I just go for crazy Spell Vamp. And the next one I'm going to bring you, I actually go a little bit more defensive, and I rush a Zhonya's Hourglass. But you can see here with a level 2, plus my attack, plus the red, the wolf camp falls really quickly. Just doing really well. And now I can start speeding up the video a little bit. As they're going to attempt to take the bottom turret. And there's a good gank on top. And there's the Dark Binding on Tryndamere. This won't kill him. And there's the ulti from Fiddlesticks. And I shield out Varus, shielding at least a little bit of damage. It doesn't result in the kill, and Fiddlesticks almost dies from it. And there's another binding on Tryndamere, a little bit more damage. Even though Varus is hurt, the two of us can actually hold this turret quite well. We don't have to worry about a Fiddle ulti. And there's a flash in with my ulti going. I don't have Fiddlesticks, but I have Caitlyn, which is enough. And then trying to go on the Undying Rage, and it's not going to matter, as Sona did pick up Caitlyn, but Varus did get Tryndamere. You see, there's that opportunity, there's that aggressiveness that you can use with Morgana. A quick flash ulti, and a stun, and then Sona stun, and then, you know, Varus ulti following it up. You have the potential for just so much CC. It's nuts. And we have 2 turrets on them right now. Oh, I'm sorry, we have 3 turrets. We did get the middle turret. So we have 3 turrets on them, 16-4. And we're up, what, about 9k in gold already? For all intents and purposes, as long as we don't mess up, this game is over. I mean, this is our game to lose at this point. And Twisted Fate gets caught out. And I don't know why I'm not paying attention. I probably could have gone there to help. Unfortunately, I didn't. So, yeah. Now, I actually pick up a blue pot on this one. At this point, I'm just kind of like testing different things. Just kind of playing around. This is my first game jungling her. And I've picked up even more Spell Vamp at this point. And just continuing through the jungle. I'd love to catch Caitlyn, and bam! I nail her with a Dark Binding right there. And Shen gets shut down, but we're still looking to be aggressive here. I'm looking to Dark Bind. I'm looking for ulti at this point. I'm looking for anything. And Twisted Fate teleports and nails Fiddlesticks, and boom, quick double kill. And right here, we were all like, go ahead, Lee Sin, jump. Come on, jump, jump. But of course he doesn't. Yeah, but I kind of miss Morgana. She was such a strong mid. She'd be banned in almost every game because of her Dark Binding and ulti and the utility that she'd bring to a team fight. It was truly amazing. And it's just fallen off because the roaming mid just kind of, doesn't exist anymore up in higher competitive levels. It's all about the jungler roaming now. It's all about being aggressive and going for the objectives, which is not a bad play, It makes sense now. It's more what Riot was aiming for, and I am going to get slammed. And Shen tries to come and help as I do ulti out, but I'm going to end up dying. And Shen will get fiddlesticks, and he flashes away. I think he gets away. Jump and stun, and then he gets kicked out. But then Twisted Fate teleports in. Again, they're still going for him, but it's going to block it, and Lee Sin's going to die as well. Shen doesn't have that much left, and he shouldn't have done that. And then I don't know what Shen was thinking, and he's going to get taken out. So that was two bad plays at the end. We traded 2 for 3, so again, that's not the greatest of moves. But here comes Sona with quick ulti, and unfortunately I teleported back. Let's see if we can jump back and watch that. So let's speed up, because that's rather funny. Trendemir's like, I got this tower, no problem. Ulti. Oh man, that's too funny. That's just too funny. So in the end, we ended up trading 3 for 3. We went even, and we didn't quite lose the tower yet. So not terrible, but 2 of those deaths could have easily been avoided. I actually, at this point, want Lee Sin to jump at me. He doesn't. So I just hit him with a Dark Binding and some Tormented Soil. And actually, between me and TF, we chunk him pretty well. And oof, Sona ulti just completely whiffs. And yeah, a little late on the shield there, but yeah, it's the thought that counts. Another Dark Binding on Lee Sin, another Tormented Soil, and now he's really low, and he can't contribute much to the defense. You see here, he's got to go back and heal. And here comes the ulti, and I don't know why I'm standing back. I should be going in there. I don't have my ulti yet, and I am going to end up dying, but as you can see here, 3 for 1, and that 1 is me. Which is fine, as the jungler, I can die. The only trick to having Morgana is you see TF just teleports in and finishes off Caitlyn, and we almost get Anivia as well, but we do take the tower. The one thing you kind of got to be careful of when using Morgana is you got to make sure you do have somebody that can be tanky and peel. I'd recommend doing this with Shen top or Renekton. Jace could work. A lot of tops could work. But there are some tops that, see people go for, Kha'Zix and Zed and whatnot. If you're going to have the assassin or the, the damaging top, you may want to avoid going with Morgana jungle. Although you could go tanky Morgana. You could go the Elder Lizard, Rod of Ages, maybe Rylai's Crystal Scepter, the Hourglass, Zhonya's Hourglass. You see, I still got the blue pot. It was kind of ridiculous for me to pick it up. And right now they're doing Dragon. We don't have any clue that they're doing it. But yeah, the Hourglass, maybe Rabadon's Death Cap, but you don't have to go for full power. You can even go more defensive tanky items for AP. So, or even utility, things like that. So you have a lot of options that you can go for Morgana. And you can kind of be that disruptive I know, maybe not as effective as Nautilus, but you can still be that disruptive force that causes the enemy team to scatter, that can peel off your ADC by using a 3-second Dark Binding and your ulti. You know, so there's a lot of options you can go. I'd still probably favor going for somebody tanky CC in the jungle other than Morgana, if I had an assassin or damage top, but you still might be able to pull it off depending on your playstyle. So I'm definitely going to be jungling Morgana a lot more often. It works. It's very easy. You know, Morgana's not a difficult champion to use in the jungle or in fights. And the great part is that if you have a lane that needs to be covered, if you have a champion that gets killed and needs to be covered, you can cover lanes very easily. You see here, I just take down the blue golem, no problem whatsoever. I've gone with a Woda, and the reality of the Woda is, with the Woda, the Elder Lizard, Vampirism, her base, Spell Vamp, her passive, and my quints, I actually have 69% Spell Vamp right now. It means almost 70% of the damage that I'm putting out comes back to me as health. So that's pretty nuts. And if you have somebody else in your team that gets Spell Vamp, that's like an extra, what, 20, 30%? So you're looking at 90%, maybe almost 100% Spell Vamp. That's just huge. That is a lot of sustain in a team fight. That's a lot of sustain in the jungle. That's just a lot of sustain, period. So just farming up right now. We're not pushing our advantage, which really is a bad decision at this point. We have one inhibitor down. We have one inhibitor open. We're the stronger team right now by far. 27 kills to 11. 47.7k gold to 35.6 at this point. We've got a massive advantage. We should be pressing that advantage right now, and we do pick up Baron, but we should have been pushing inhibitors right now. We should have been pressing the top turrets right now, and I'm not doing it either. So I'm not just faulting my team. This is me as well. I'm content to farm because I want my Hourglass. I want my needlessly large rod. I already got the arm guard, which, to be honest, it makes more sense to rush the arm guard after you get the Spirit of the Elder Lizard, because you can stack it really easily. And Trendemir trying to come in. I miss my Dark Binding, but my presence is enough to back him off. I realize that there's 3 here, so I'm telling Varus, my friend, oh fuck, I forget his name again. I have trouble remembering my friends' names. It's really sad. Garrett, that's it. I don't tell, because I always want to confuse my friends Nolan and Garrett. We're all teleporting right next to each other. But yeah, we have Baron and we're wasting it right now. This is something that really shouldn't happen in team fights at all. If we have Baron, we should be pushing, but I want my needlessly large rod, I want my Hourglass, so I'm content to farm, and that's really a bad decision on my part. But as I was saying earlier, it makes more sense to rush the arm guard over rushing like a Woda. First off, the Hourglass helps you more in terms of your ulti, the very traditional dive in, ulti, and here we go, ulti right there. And I actually walked too far, but it doesn't matter. I lock down Lee Sin, the Varus goes off, locks down Trendemir. There's the taunt on Caitlyn, and that's going to spell the end of it for the enemy team. So, yeah, definitely, as I'll show you, I think in the next video that I do, probably tomorrow, Morgana's... I rush the arm guard instead, and I rush the Hourglass instead, which makes a lot more sense. This is going to end it for the enemy team right here. And this will be it. Again, Morgana jungle makes tremendous sense. I don't know how to say it beyond that. It brings back the Morgana presence. It brings back the fear of her Dark Binding. It brings back the fear of her ulti. It brings back her spell shield, which counters so many abilities. It's great for counter initiation. Nautilus just launched his ulti at your ADC. You spell shield him. He still takes the damage, I think, from, or maybe even just part of the damage from Nautilus's ulti, but he doesn't get knocked up. He doesn't get hooked because it blocks the hook. It blocks a Blitzcrank hook. It blocks so many things that people can initiate on. So it really brings that Morgana presence back into a team. I don't really ever think that we'll see this on a competitive level, but I think in terms of bringing something surprising to a pub stomp or just to a normals game, or hell, maybe even lower end ranked games, I think it would be pretty strong because, like I said, people are going to see Morgana, they're going to see jungle, they're going to think troll, but in reality, as you've seen here, it can actually be very strong, especially if you have a good team comp. If you have a team with a lot of CC, the Morgana jungle just brings that much more. So think about it. Morgana jungle is no joke. It's not a troll. It works, and I recommend that if you're a jungler and you're looking for a different AP jungler, because AP jungling is weak, really. There's really not a lot in terms of AP junglers, you know, which is why you always get armor pen or something of that nature with your junglers, because the creeps, they have armor, but they don't have magic resist as far as I know. Yeah, AP junglers, maybe Jungle Diana, but she's stronger in mid or maybe even top lane. Jungle Fiddlesticks, Nunu jungle, Maokai, but he goes more tanky. You know, you can see there's kind of that lack of more offensive, strong utility AP junglers. And Morgana fits that bill very, very well. Alright folks, that's going to be it for me on this video. Until next time, this is One Big Bugger signing out, and I will see you then.